Setting up Google Ads conversion tracking in Shopify can be a real headache for a lot of business owners. But thing doesn't stop there. Trust me, the real problem arises when you make some huge conversion tracking mistake. From your ad performance to data and customer behavior, everything will be messing up if you're not prepared for the 7 problems of Shopify Google Ads conversion tracking that I'll share with you right now. To provide a clearer picture, we'll categorize these common issues with solutions into 2 groups: mistake during setup and mistake during tracking. So, Google Ads conversion tracking errors during setup phase first. The first mistake you may encounter is placing code on the wrong page. It sounds so simple, yet it is surprisingly common. This means that the tracking code is positioned on an incorrect page of your website. As websites have different pages, it can be a bit tricky to find the right page to put the code. Even the best tech expert can mistake one page for another. Another thing to watch out for is additional script added. To break it down, it means that there are some plugins or browser extension appear. They might quietly insert extra script into your tracking code without you knowing, then leading to code errors. This problem becomes more common when you're using an e-commerce platform that depends on cookies for tracking. Now, you may ask for the solution, right? If you find yourself dealing with these technical issues like wrong code, Google Tag Assistant can come to your rescue. It's a Google Chrome extension that helps you troubleshoot and correct issues with your Google Tag Manager and Google Tag implementations. Using Tag Assistant, you can verify that your Google tags are firing correctly and that the data they are sending is accurate. All you need to do is navigate to Google Tag Assistant, then enter your domain and click Connect. Next, perform the action you wish to test, like making a purchase. This simple test will quickly reveal if your conversions are still on the right track or not. If it successfully records the purchase, then you can ensure that your tag is functioning correctly. However, if it fails to record any activities, Tag Assistant will help you diagnose and address any errors or warning in your Google tags on your website. Another way you can troubleshoot your tracking code is through browser developer tools. Simply right-click on your page, select Inspect or Inspect Element, and then voila, the browser developer window opens up. There, head to the Console tab where you can spot any errors that might prevent tags from firing. You can also move to Elements tab and search for the conversion label or ID to locate the tag in the page source. And that is done for all problems and solution for Google Ads conversion tracking mistake during setup. Now, move on to the problems you might face during the data tracking phase and how to avoid them. But before diving in, make sure you wait at least 24 hours before expecting to see results. This time frame is important for Google and Shopify system to synchronize seamlessly and ensure accurate outcomes. The first issue you might encounter is incorrect conversion tracking testing. After successfully setting up your Google Ads conversion tracking in Shopify, the next step is to validate its functionality by making a test purchase. However, we've noticed a common issue that many business owners like you come across. Even after a test purchase, Google Ads might still display a no recent conversion status. Why? The key here is that Google Ads conversion is only counted if the purchase occurred after clicking on an ad. This means that if your test purchase was made organically without clicking on your ad first, it's unlikely to be recognized as a Google Ads conversion. If you find yourself in this situation, a simple solution is at hand. Test again. Just make sure to click on your ads before making the purchase to ensure accurate tracking. Now, let's talk about the second mistake, incorrect conversion data. This one can be a bit tricky. You're getting conversion data, but it might look a bit unusual. When this happens, it could be due to a few things, like how you set things up, the Google code you're using, or even the devices being used. One main reason from that comes from the difference in how currencies are formatted between Shopify and Google Ads. Imagine a product is priced at $5.2 in Shopify and $5.2 in Google Ads. This small difference could lead to Google Ad tracking per purchase value as $52 or not recording it at all. The distinction between a comma and a dot might seem insignificant in some cases, but it's a big deal when there's coding involved. There's also something called Shopify multi-currency feature, allowing users to shop in their local currency. If merchants are not aware of this and only set up USD as the currency value, then some purchases might not be recorded correctly. In fact, there are other things that could make Google Ads shows the wrong conversion data. In this case, the only solution is set up your code and settings right from the beginning. Now, for the third mistake during tracking Google Ads conversion, unsuitable attribution model. Using the wrong attribution model can also result in your tracking results appearing inaccurate. To ensure tracking aligns with your campaign objectives and conversion distribution preferences, you need to choose the right attribution model. If you haven't known yet, first click, linear, time decay, and position-based attribution model have all gone away. Google noticed that these models don't provide the flexibility needed to adapt to evolving customer journeys. That's why at the moment, Google Ads only provide two attribution models, last click and data-driven attribution model. Last click means that you give all credits for conversion to the last ad clicks and corresponding keywords. If you're all about the last ad click just before conversion happens, this model is the way to go. It's helpful if you want to know which of your marketing channels and touch points have the most influence in the final stage of the buyer's journey. But if you prefer to distribute conversion credit to different touch points based on your past data, data-driven model is the best way. So remember to choose the right attribution model that meets your business goals. Next, move on to excessive conversion tracking issues, or in another word, tracking non-monetary conversions. Have you ever tried to focus on too many conversion events at the same time? If yes, then 100% for sure, you will end up with confusing and then tracking inaccurate conversions. What I highly recommend you guys is to not track non-monetary, such as document downloads or signups, which don't directly contribute to your revenue. While it's valuable to monitor these activities, assigning a conversion value to each of them may not always be the right approach. Of course, unless that's the ultimate goal of your campaign. Having an excessive number of conversion events configured can make everything more complicated than necessary. The process of monitoring and analyzing your data becomes more burdensome for you and your team. And that is why it is better to focus on the conversion that contribute directly to your revenue. And here we go, the last mistake during tracking Google Ads conversion tracking, counting duplicate conversions. Make sure you take a closer look at the purchase click ID. Why? Let me show you a real case. When a user makes multiple purchases from a single click ID, you need to decide whether to consider them as individual purchases or as a single conversion. If you count them as multiple conversions, you might end up with tracking duplicate conversion. So please make sure that each click ID is credited for only one conversion. Alright, we have just covered all the reasons and solutions for Shopify Google Ads conversion tracking. All the process from setting Google Ads conversion tracking to monitoring the right data can be a roadblock to anyone. Not to mention there are risks and errors in technical steps. If you want to stay away from every issues I just mentioned above, there's a more efficient solution. Leverage marketing attribution software like NestAd. NestAd offers automatic integration with Shopify, making it a breeze to sync with your store and avoid all setup errors because no technical expertise is needed. What's even more interesting is our multi-touch attribution model based on your past data. So no more worrying about selecting the wrong attribution model. Discover more about NestAd here or in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel. That means a lot to us. And don't forget to stay tuned for every upcoming videos about Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and also TikTok Ads. Goodbye, and we'll see you in the next one.